Hey, what's up, Gio? Happy Monday. This is our second to last learning video of the year, so that's awesome. So thanks for staying with it. Thanks for giving your best effort. I know it was a crazy time, but the light at the end of the tunnel is coming, so that's awesome. We're going to start this week. We're going to talk a little bit about circles, which would have been one of the last things. It'd be a little more than a couple sections long, but that's the time we have, and that's the time we're going to do. Okay, so let's just review quick what we know about a circle already. Well, we already know that the radius is the center all the way touching the circle. Okay, the diameter starts at one end of the circle, goes all the way through the center. That's important, and it touches the other side. Because today we're going to talk about a couple new terms. One of them is going to be a chord. A chord is much like the diameter, but the diameter has to go through the center. A chord does not. Okay, radius is half the diameter. So let's talk about our new words. We're not making a flip chart, but we are going to talk about these four words today. And we're going to label them, we're going to write them out, all that kind of good stuff. So the first thing we got on here is a chord. Okay, it says a chord is a segment whose endpoints lie on a circle. So we would find out A and B, they are lined up right on that circle. So we would say segment AB is a chord. We can also say C and D also lie on it. So we're talking C to D, again, just the segment piece. Okay? Difference between a segment and a line. And then we got a secant. Okay? I'll actually do this in a different color, so that way when we highlight it, you can always go back and look at it. So a secant is a line that intersects a circle at 2 points. So what we would have for our secant line is it's basically a chord, but then we have to look at the arrows. So we're talking about the line CD, and that's the secant. Okay? Tangent line. Okay, tangent line is in the same plane. Don't worry so much about that, but it intersects the circle at exactly 1 point. Right? So this line right here touches that circle in exactly one spot right there. Okay? That super highlighted red dot right there is called the point of tangency. So what we're going to practice today is we're going to practice naming chords, secants, tangent lines, and the point of tangency. I'm going to skip over tangent circles. That's basically the same thing as two circles that touch exactly one time are called tangent circles. Right? So number one, it says identify each line or segment that intersects each circle. So first off, we're going to go HG. We're going to start out small and get big. HG is called the radius. Okay. Then we got F to G. F touches, G touches. So FG is two specific things. It's the new word chord, but it's also the diameter because it goes through the center of the circle. Okay, so FG is 2 because it does go straight through that center right here. It goes through H. Okay, then we got, all right, line L right here. Line L is a secant line because it crosses the circle in 2 spots, touches it in 2 spots. And then last but not least, line M is a tangent line. Okay, they don't give us a letter for the point of tangency, so we don't have to write that down. Okay, so why don't you stop the video quick, and why don't you label these as best as you can. I'm just going to start whipping through it because you have already unpaused it after you already did the work. So, all right, so we got KJ is a radius. All right, again, we would name that as segment KJ. All right, and then we got line NM. We call this a tangent line because it crosses that. So that's tangent. We call that NM, and it's a line. Right, and then here comes the tricky one. We got LM. If we're talking the segment, we call that a chord. Notice how it doesn't go through the center J, right? That's the center. If LM went through the center, then that would be a chord, and it would also be considered the diameter as well. Okay? And then last but not least, the whole line now with the arrows. So line LM, that crosses in two different spots. We're going to call that a secant. All right, and then we go down here. It says find the length of each radius, identify the point of tangency, and write the equation of a tangent point. Don't worry about writing the equation y equals mx plus b or anything like that. We haven't spent a whole lot of time, but the equation's pretty easy to write. So we're going to start out with circle n. Circle n, radius is equal to, and then all we want to do is count. All right, here's the 1, 2, 3. So it's 3. And then they don't give us units of measure, so we'll just call 3 units. Circle P radius is only 1 unit. Okay, because remember, radius goes from the center out. Okay, then it says identify the point of tangency. Well, where do they cross at? The point of tangency, we'll just call it the POT, is the point. We're going to start at -1 and go down 2, so it's the point -1, -2. And then the equation of the tangent line since the line is going horizontal, crossing through the y-axis, and it crosses at the point 2, it would be y equals 2. So that line, that horizontal line, easy way to remember it is it crosses the y-axis, so it's y equals, and then you choose where it crosses, and that's at 2. Okay? Let's go to this one. Circle S. Whoa. It has a radius of 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle T has a radius of 1, 2. All right, point of tangency is right here. So we'll call that point of tangency is at the point 7, 0. And the equation for tangent, and then since this is going a vertical line going straight up and down, and it crosses the x-axis, that's going to be the equation x equals, and it crosses at 7. Okay, so try out homework tonight. Should be pretty straightforward. Just make sure you keep going back to those definitions and picking out the right kind of word for each picture. All right, guys, have a good day.